What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. If you guys are new around here, my name is Lauren. You guys are watching Lauren Vlogs. Ignore my hair, I need to get my hair done. As you all know, I have participated in an internship this summer. Good news, I actually got an extension. So I'm going to be able to intern through the school year. I'll probably make a video on actually no, I'm going to make a video on that and how it ties into my college semester in another video. However, at the end of my summer section of my internship, I was given the opportunity to give an intern presentation in front of management. So it was about 17 people, about 10 people virtually through Teams, and 7 people in person. So I was standing there to discuss the projects I did for the summer and the impact it had on the company. Most internships are going to have you give a final presentation, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to absolutely kill your intern presentation. Before we get into this video, if you guys do enjoy this video, if you find it helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you enjoyed this video, man, I have so many other videos. I would greatly appreciate it if you could check out some of them. And if you like my other videos, you can consider subscribing to the channel to help show your support. If you want to keep up with me when I am not posting on YouTube, follow me on the gram. I post a lot on my story. Keep up to date with me in all my endeavors. Yeah. So just like me, you may have an upcoming intern presentation. You might have a presentation on your job, a presentation in your class, or you might be taking a public speaking class and you want to know, Lauren, I'm terrified. What on earth do I do? I'm going to vomit. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. First of all, calm down. You can do it and you will do it. People do this type of stuff every day and they still walk out kicking. All right. So I'm going to teach you guys the tips that I incorporated so that you're not nearly as nervous as I was. Let's get into it. I forgot to note that I am a sourcing business analyst intern. So I'm here to give you guys the tips that helped me. When you're giving your presentation, always dress to impress. My company's, which I'm not gonna say their name, but my company's work dress code is business casual. So you can wear any type of tennis shoes, you can wear khaki pants, any like neat looking pant, anywhere collared shirt. So this is typically what I wear to the office. This is what I wore during my intern presentation. See the difference? And I know you guys are probably like, oh my God, Lauren, why do I have to put on a blazer and all this stuff? It's going to leave a fantastic impression, right? Management is going to see it and say, okay, so they didn't just come in the regular work clothes. They took the opportunity to A, recognize this is a big deal. Dressing sends an image, right? You know, if you dress more sloppily, people are going to assume that you have a lower position. And that may not always be true. I like to dress comfortable and sloppy all the time, right? But I make sure I do that when I'm not at work. So if you're giving a presentation, always dress your prime, because you never know who's going to show up to that presentation. 2, throw in a bit of humor. Throw in a bit of humor. You don't have to make your presentation black and white, serious the whole time, unless your company tells you to. Now, my company's environment is kind of playful, kind of fun, so I was able to incorporate some humor, but unless your company says no humor, spice it up, add some funny stuff in there, get people laughing. That kind of falls into number 3, engage with your audience. Don't just stand up there and go, here's what I did, here's my presentation, my name is X, Y, and Z, this is project we did X, Y, and Z, next project X, Y, and Z. No, engage with your audience. Chat with them. Point at them, use them as examples, tell a story, engage, don't make it boring. Here, one of my favorite quotes is by Benjamin Franklin. It is, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, and then involve me and I may learn. This is very crucial to the internship I just participated in. I believe that true learning begins once you are able to participate in hands-on activity. I believe that you remember and retain knowledge through the action of doing versus sitting in a classroom and absorbing information. Let me give you all a simple analogy. So if I said, I want all of you guys to learn how to play the guitar. Seems a little challenging, right? But if I said, I want you all to learn how to play the guitar by next week, I want you guys to be able to play 10 different songs. I want you to memorize all of the chords, and I want you all to perform a simple concert for me, right? You all would be overwhelmed. You would be thinking, how on earth do I do all of this stuff by next week? Therefore, when you are taking the time to sit down and learn how to play this instrument, the task is not going to be fun anymore. You're not going to be learning. Instead, you're going to be trying to check off a multitude of different boxes that I have placed upon you.
But instead of doing that, I would challenge all of you to take everything one aspect at a time. I can even relate this to before I started college. Before you start college, you have a lot of pressure on you. So you want to graduate in 4 years. You want to participate in as many internships as possible. You want to master all of the skills and all of the software that everyone at the internship gives you. And it's really easy to get caught up in that. I have to admit, I was operating in that mindset. But as time started to progress, I realized that I didn't need to master all of our software by next week. I didn't need to be a master in supply chain architecture in a week. What I needed to do was focus on one thing at a time. So first step, learn the acronyms. Second step.
That was week one. That's good. Yeah.
Second step is to learn the software. Take everything one step at a time. It's great to set high expectations upon yourself. And it's wonderful to look years down the line and say, I want to be here and I want to be there. But it's also important to be able to take everything one step at a time and complete each little hurdle as you get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say, which is one thing that I learned on this internship.
How to deal with the nervousness. Your brain will believe whatever you tell it, right? If I came to you and told you, hey, there's a green goblin that is chasing you. It's right now in Texas, and if it catches up to you, you're gonna die, right? First of all, the first time you heard that, you'd go, Lauren, you're being ridiculous, right? But if I told you that 8 times a day and got my friends to tell you, my family to tell you, you might start to be like, okay, wait, hold on, what? You would start to question things. So even though you realize what's true and what's not, whatever you tell yourself, your brain will believe. Think of somebody who makes you calm. It could be your mom, your dad, your dog, your cat, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your aunt, your uncle, your sister, your brother. Convince your brain and say, everybody in the audience. So you can say, for example, my brother cloned himself. And everybody in the audience, and everybody in the audience is just my brother in a costume. Tell yourself that until you believe it. And once you get in that room and you start presenting, you'll be like, oh wait, that's just my brother in costumes. It sounds ridiculous, but trust me, it works. The next step is don't assume that your audience knows everything. That's the mistake that young presenters make, is we go in with presentations and we say, boom, here is our software, Microsoft PowerPoint, which I'm not going to use a real example, but we say, here's our software, Microsoft PowerPoint, and you talk about it. Don't assume that your audience knows what everything is. Give them a little backup. Say, Microsoft PowerPoint is a presentation application where you can customize slides and make a point. Just give them a simple backstory. Don't assume that your audience knows everything.
The best way to explain SAP is a big filing cabinet full of supplier information. So that's essentially what it is, except obviously it's digital, it's smarter, and it's much more efficient.
Give them a little example. Give them an example of how it's used and when it's used before you explain what you did. Step is easy. Just breathe, right? Just breathe, all right? Breathe and drink water. The reason that you're nervous about your presentation is because your brain believes that you're in a dangerous situation. Why you're nervous? Your brain believes that you are threatened, and your brain is sending adrenaline throughout your entire body. The way to calm your body down is to take a sip of water and take slow breaths, right? Because if you're running and you got a killer chasing after you, are you going to take time to say, hold on, killer, let me do some deep breaths and grab a drink of water? No, you're going to keep running. Your body knows that when you drink a bottle of water or you take some breaths, your body is now going, oh, they're not in danger. They just took time to relax. So they're clearly okay. So drink a lot of water and breathe. Next piece of advice is any mistake you make. If you pronounce a word wrong, you stutter a little bit, just like I did, if you forget to leave out one piece of information, if you call something the wrong name, don't get caught up on the mistake. It's all in the recovery. When I used to act in plays, there was one thing that my aunt told me. She said, the audience isn't going to realize when you mess up. Just keep it rolling. Now, in presentations, that's a little bit different because typically the audience will realize that you messed up. However, don't get caught up, right? Here's an example of what to do versus what not to do. I'm going to use a really dumb example, but let's say you're chatting and you say, all right, everybody, so Monday.com is a search engine, right? That was incorrect. So let's say you say, here's what you don't do. Monday.com is a search engine that, oh wait, I messed up. What was I saying? Okay, let me back up. Sorry guys. What is it? See how I'm doing all that extraness? Don't be extra. Don't do that extraness. The audience doesn't care. Here's an example of what you should do. Monday.com is a search engine. Monday.com is a tool that helps us all collaborate. See how I quickly corrected myself and redirected my audience back to the point, and I didn't get caught up on my mistake? Keep it rolling. It's all in the recovery. It doesn't matter what mistakes you make. What matters is, okay, how do you continue? Do you continue thrown off and shaky, or do you continue just as well? So what matters is how you continue and how you keep pushing. So all mistakes are in the recovery. Just keep it rolling. Piece of advice is don't make direct eye contact. There's no need to look at people directly in the eyes. Thing that people will tell you when giving presentations is they'll say you need to make eye contact with your audience. That is true. However, you don't need to look directly into their souls. Look right here. Look right in between their eyes. It'll look like you're looking them directly in the eyes when you are really not. That way, you can be talking to one side of the room, scan the other side of the room, scan back to this side, look right here. People will think you're making eye contact, and you won't even be nervous about it. Thing is, not everybody needs to know you're nervous. Not everybody needs to know. So don't walk into your presentation and go, sorry guys, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about this presentation. I haven't done this. No, cut all the crap. Just go up there and speak. You can be nervous, but the audience doesn't need to know that. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Don't act nervous. Nobody needs to know that. That's between you and your brain. Maybe confide in a friend or family member about nervousness, but don't go up in front of your team and say, guys, I'm so nervous. No, drop it. Just go up and do your stuff. You got it. Piece of advice is don't compare yourself to anyone. And it's a hard task, but it's essential. At my intern presentation, I actually had an intern present right before I did. And the whole time on the drive there, I was like, okay, oh my gosh, what if his presentation is really good? What if he has all these incredible things and mine is crap? Just don't hype it up in your head. Don't compare yourself to other people. One thing that you need to realize is your journey is your journey and other people's journey is their journey. Don't ever compare yourself to somebody else, because what they're doing doesn't have a thing to do with what you are doing. So they can have a fantastic presentation and you can clap, but don't let it intimidate you. You can be inspired, but don't compare. You got it. This is your story, your presentation. You take off. Piece of advice. Everyone in the room is human. Everyone is human. Okay? The reason that we get nervous a lot of times during presentations, especially in the work arena, is because we go, oh my God, all these people are from management. I had an HR director one of the people I had in my presentations was an HR director. We think, oh my gosh, okay, I had a vice president at my presentation as well. We think, oh my gosh, I have all these people from these high backgrounds looking down on me. No, that's amazing. But we're all human. At the end of the day, we all bleed red. We all have to eat food to survive. We're all gonna die. We are literally the same. We are literally the same, and right? That's why it's so difficult for us to be able to even ask out the girl we like on a date or talk to that pretty girl in class, because oh my God, what if she doesn't like me? You're putting these individuals on a hierarchy. And sure, while they may be on a hierarchy in the work atmosphere, when it comes to the human experience, same level. So look at everybody like they're just another human, because that's exactly what they are. Next piece of advice is everything will be fine soon, right? When I'm nervous about something, I try and schedule something fun later that day. For example, presentation. I might set hanging out with friends later that day because it gives me something to look forward to. And just remember that this feeling right now is temporary, right? I had my presentation at 11:30 and I told myself, once the clock hits 12, you're going to be done, right? So you're not going to be feeling nervous past 12. Past 12, and you'll be back to normal. So give yourself something positive to look forward to, because once you jump this hurdle, everything will be fine right after. Advice is, you're not in danger, right? It's easy to think that like, oh my God, you know, I'm so scared, I'm so nervous. Stop, you're not in danger. Don't treat the situation like you're running from the cops. You are not in danger. Instead, you're going up in front of a room. You are going to do something that you've done your entire life. Talk. Think about it like all you're doing is speaking. You speak every single day. So treat it just like that. You're not in danger. Don't hype it up in your head. Piece of advice is be ready for questions, all right? And a lot of times people will ask you questions that you are not prepared to handle. For example, and he asked me, how was the cleanup that I did in SAP sustainable moving forward? When he first asked me this question, my mind blanked. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about this, right? But the key thing to business is being able to think on the spot, give answers, right? So I say this to say, when you're given a question you don't know, give them the question. It's like when someone passes you a basketball and you're stuck, pass the ball right back. Here's how I answered the question.
Well, with the cleanup at SAP, it's very sustainable because we have gotten rid of any outdated information. We have now implemented new information, and I believe that continuing to update SAP will now draw attention to various teams. So if they hopefully we would assume that if they saw the interns update this information, they would say, okay, well, clearly this is an important project that needs to be done. And as we get into SAP, and as we start to work with the projects, we'll say, how amazing is this to have consolidated information? This is a huge difference. Why was I doing this before? And hopefully that is something that you all will be able to implement. So essentially the ball is now in your court, and it's up to you to shoot the basketball through or not.
To not mess it up.
I did. I paused for a minute and I said to myself, okay, allow me to reverse the question. So I'm going to be throwing that ball right back. Act as if it's a bad pass. Give the ball right back. So say, okay, let me put the ball in their court. Wall to continue to manage and improve the software. We've laid the framework. It is now up to you guys to be able to continue the adjustments moving forward. Reverse the question. Send the question right back. Give the responsibility right back to them. Last piece of advice is always relate to the audience. Relate. You can say, and here's an example, but I said something along the lines of, we know how hard it is to work with misconsolidated information. Really touch them, reach out, touch them, go. You know how hard it is to work with misconsolidated information. I'm helping you.
So I was tasked with cleaning up the file system to work better for all of us here. We all know that there's nothing worse than needing to retrieve information and not knowing where to look, or having all of it misclassified, misconsolidated.
So tell a story, touch them, get them involved. And I'm trying to see if there's any more tips or tricks I could give you guys. But the thing is, it is completely acceptable to use note cards unless you're told otherwise. A lot of people try and do this memorization thing where they go, okay, I have to memorize my entire presentation. I'm like, no, you don't. Don't even put that unneeded stress on yourself, right? So practice, but and be familiar with what you're going to say, but don't memorize it, right? There's a correct way and there's an incorrect way to use note cards, right? So let's say that this baseball card, who's this on here? I don't even know who this is, but let's say that this baseball card is my note card, right? Here is the incorrect way to use note cards. Hey everybody, my name is Lauren Pickett. Today I'm going to be, hey everyone, my name is Lauren Pickett. Today I'm going to be giving you my intern presentation. See how I was not looking at the audience? I was focusing on my card and I was reading directly from the card, right? One of the skills you're going to want to learn when public speaking is to be able to read ahead. So to be able to speak and read ahead, meaning I can go, hello everyone, my name is Lauren Pickett, and while I'm saying that, I can look forward on the note card and see the next line of information that I have to say. So while I'm saying the first line looking at my note card, I'm memorizing the second line, and since the second line is memorized right there, I can put my note card down and say it to the audience. Let me give you an example. Hey everyone, my name is Lauren Pickett. Today I'm going to be showing you guys what SAP is. See how I said I'm going to be showing you guys what SAP is without looking at my card? I would memorize that sentence while reading the verse. And it's a hard skill, but essentially it's okay to reference your note cards if you like to, but make sure that you are engaging with the audience, turning, being interactive, and only glancing at your note card from time to time and not doing it too much. You see how I did that? Literally how I handle that. Oh yeah, speak with friends and family about it. Don't obsess over it. Don't allow the presentation to consume you, right? It's okay to practice and give it the appropriate thought at night and after work, but don't let it consume your evening, right? Don't be driving home from work dreading your presentation. Don't be watching YouTube scared about your presentation. Don't be waking up, brushing your teeth scared. Like, just, it's okay to practice and go, okay, this needs to be serious, I need to do this, but don't allow it to consume you. Like, give it a cutoff time. Say, I'm not going to worry about this presentation past 6 p.m. or past 8. And don't think about it, right? So it's great to be prepared, but don't allow the negative to consume you, right? Another thing is, a feeling is just a feeling. So just because you're scared or nervous, a feeling is just a feeling, and a feeling has no relevant correlation to the real world. And you'll realize that once you do the first presentation, you're going to be blown away, and you're going to be like, oh my god, that was so simple. You know, so simple, I can do it 1,000 more times, right? And my next piece of advice is always give an introduction to yourself. Don't just go up there and start talking about, you know, the projects, right? Like, people want to know who you are. They want to know who they're speaking to. You might, unless they tell you otherwise, but go up there, give them a brief introduction about who you are, and speak fluently, speak slowly, just be confident. Go up there and walk in that room. Like walk in that room like you're the owner of that building, and stand up and be confident. Be confident, guys. Always just be confident in yourself. Just remember that you are the prize always, man. I always tell people, even if you're underqualified, you're scared, you're nervous, walk into every room like you own the building. Walk into every room like you were supposed to be there, because you are, and you're on the right track, you guys. So I hope I helped one person with this video, guys. If you would like to ask me any questions, guys, leave me a comment down below. If you have any advice that you want, or anything like that, please drop a comment. I love to engage with people who watch my videos, so leave a comment. I'll give you some more advice. Follow me on the gram if you want to DM me there about advice regarding presentations. Go for it. Once again, guys, if this helps you, give it a big thumbs up, and then check out some other videos, and subscribe to help show your support to the channel. Please love yourself, be safe, and allow yourself to be great. This is LP signing out.